a few years ago when Joe Biden was running for office, a lot of people had this mantra, a couple of mantras that we heard. Blue, no matter who, was one of them. Another one, people kept saying, oh, we just got to get Trump out. So Joe Biden went on a series of interviews that most people raised their eyes about and things that he said. We're going to start to revisit some of these things that happened back during that election in 2020. Case in point, Cardi B. There was a lot of sisters that he could have sat down with that has a political mind, that talk about politics all day long, speak about the issues in the black community. And he did not sit down with not one black woman that had a inkling of a mind for politics. Now, Cardi B, I don't put a lot of stock on her because she's an entertainer. She don't do politics like that other than just what's the obvious, right? But yet Joe Biden had no respect for the black community whatsoever. He'd rather go to an entertainer who is not her job to talk about the issues in the black community politically. It's not her job. She don't study bills. She don't study ordinances. She don't do any of that other than, like you said, or I said earlier, than the obvious. But he sat down with her, got with Elle magazine to do it. I want to run this first clip of Cardi because, like I said, we want to revisit that. And let's hear what Cardi just had to say to Biden just at that time period.
Tell me what's your main interest in terms of this election?
I have a whole list of things that I want and I wish and I desire for our next president to do for us. But first thing first, let me keep it a buck. I just want Trump out. You know what I'm saying? The truth, the hardcore truth. And also, I, of course, want free Medicare. And this is why it's important to have free Medicare, because look what's happening right now. You see why we should have been have free Medicare for a long time. I, of course, think that we need free college education. That's second. And I want black people to stop getting killed and no justice for it. I'm tired of it. I just want more stricter laws that is fair to black citizens. And, it's fair for cops too. If you kill somebody that doesn't have a weapon on them, you go to jail. You know what? If I kill somebody, I got to go to jail. You got to go to jail too. That's all I want.
Yes, I know if you didn't see that clip, let's take our time with it. First thing she said that, listen, up front, I just want Trump out. Well, Trump is out. He's out. We got Biden. And how has that worked for you? You filed your taxes yet? A lot of people have been telling me that they've been getting some surprises with their taxes. Owing taxes they were never owe before in their life. They was getting refunds before, getting big refunds. Now all of a sudden when Biden has got in and put all his, stamp on the IRS, now things are happening to a whole lot of people. But you want to get that Trump out. So you got him out. Fine. You got what you wanted. Cardi B talked about she wanted free health care. That is admirable that she wants free health care. There are a lot of countries in the world that actually have free health care, right? But unfortunately, we live in a system where they view health care as something for the elite and definitely not something for black folks. Do you know that they don't give free health care because they know black people go get free health care? Do you understand that? They rather suffer and be out of here before they want black folks to get free health care. That's all what it is. This country won't progress because they say, oh, wait a minute. If black people go get it, I don't want it. Because actually free health care would benefit them folks way more than us. There's more of them in this country than us. But they rather, just so they won't see a black man or a black woman in America get free health care, they rather suffer. Like, one thing I can say about them, they are consistent. They are very, very consistent with their immense demonic hatred for the black man and black woman of America. Cardi, in her mind, like I said, she's not a political mind, so I'm not going to be on her like that. She said she would like free college. It should be free. College should be free. At one point in time in this country, college was free when only white people can go. College became tuition based when black people were allowed to start going to college. Ronald Reagan was one of the first ones to institute a tuition based college when black people were let in out there in liberal California. So college was free and they can make it free. But you know what? Now college is kind of obsolete for a lot of people because what happens? Somebody go to college and they get in a bunch of student loan debt. A lot of people saying, unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, some sort of scientist, astrophysicist or something like that, what is the point? I might as well just get it how I live and do what I got to do. Get a certification, get a trade or something. I'm not about to have all that college debt. And that's wise to do because I cringe when I hear you young people tell me, I say, hey, what you went to college for? Psychology. I put my head down and I'm like, you didn't talk psychology? Really? Are you going to be a doctor in it or something? And then I asked a question, you got a job lined up? No. But I guarantee you, if you'd have went and got your petrochemical, like a process operator, or if you went and got you a petroleum engineering degree or something like that, or if you went and got a nursing degree, or if you something, or radiology, something, right? That you can actually go to work and make a 6-figure salary. You do not go to college if you're not going to come out making a 6-figure salary or starting off by right at the 6-figure salary. What's the point of going to college? Why waste money and time for a $40,000 a year job? Sorry, that piece of paper not worth it to me. But Cardi also got into the point about she didn't want to see black people, deleted. Of course, none of us want that. But let's fast forward today. Has Biden done anything about that? No. He hasn't done nothing about college that she wanted. Surely don't have nothing about health care that she wanted. He ain't done nothing. And neither did he really promise that either. That's another thing. Biden in 2020 didn't promise free health care. He didn't promise going to college for free. He did not promise nothing was going to happen to black people. Matter of fact, he said that he was not going to end qualified immunity. He said it back then. So why is it that folks had all these expectations of Biden and Biden never promised you anything? Then after he gets into office, because Cardi wanted Trump out, right? Well, check this clip out real quick.
Outside, and she had more to say. I mean, a ton of F-bombs here. Here's her rant online. Give it a listen.
Lettuce was like $2 a couple of months ago, and now it's like $7. Of course, I'm gonna say something. Because if I think that is crazy, I could only imagine what middle class people or people in the hood is thinking. Anybody that's responsible of these prices to put that the down.
So Cardi is complaining about the food prices and all the inflation that's happened. This was back in January of this year. Now, Cardi represents a lot of black voters. She do. Because a lot of y'all had the same mindset about Biden. You wanted Trump out and you wanted those things that Cardi was talking about. Oh, she did actually represent you. Much as you didn't like it, she did. Because you didn't actually look into Biden as you should have. You was on emotionalism at that time period. This man was actually, in my opinion, worse than Donald Trump was. Think about it. When he got into office, Black Lives Matter. Listen, Black Lives Matter is a safe organization for him to deal with. Black Lives Matter say, hey, we want to meet with you because we need to talk to you about, black people, right? Fine. Even though, the majority of us don't support the organization, but we support the mantra, right? Biden didn't even meet with Black Lives Matter. He shunned them. He didn't want nothing to do with them. And then when he did have a meeting, he had a meeting with the civil rights generation. And he talked to them like a dog. And he haven't done nothing for black folk since he been in office. But every week we sit watching him cutting a check. He just cut another $2 billion check to Ukraine. But y'all wanted that Trump out. And then it's the same responses to what I'm saying. So response number one is this. Well, who are we supposed to vote for then? You mindless zombie. You cannot think for yourself. So you need me to tell you something. This is why you get finessed all the way around in your life, because you need someone to tell you something. Instead of listening to some information someone's giving you and go and research and make up your mind on some things just with common sense, right? Because this is what happens. You don't want the responsibility of making up your mind, because if something goes wrong, you want to blame somebody else. You understand? So if I tell you something and it don't go right, well, you told me, because you don't want to take personal responsibility for your own decisions. The second thing that they say when you hear this kind of information and present it with evidence, information, etc., that they can't debunk. Well, what party should I vote for then? I mean, you think the Republicans, are they better than the Democrats? What have I said publicly about the Democrats and Republicans? Both of them are racist. Both of them do not have the interest of black people, and both of them want to advance white supremacy. It's just two different ways of doing it. But when a Democrat's in office, them folks are good. When a Republican is in office, them folks are good. No matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican, black people always suffer. Have you noticed that? Show me a time when black folks have not suffered underneath whatever party you want to think of. Black folks have always suffered something. Even when you had your first so-called black president, you was actually suffering more underneath his administration. And it was a Democrat party. Black people, as I stated before, the Democrat Party, they will stop talking to you if you say you're not voting for Democrat, but you can say you are atheist, you can say you are whatever else in the world, and they will accept you. But let you say as a black person that you're not going to go out and run out and vote for Joe Biden and Kamala. Oh, you are the devil in this community. And the crazy part is, you would think that that particular party was doing something for us constantly, and then I would even understand it. But they don't do nothing for us. They blatantly don't do nothing for us. They blatantly do something for everybody else with our vote. And then you still have black people say, well, you know what, Phil? I know it's not perfect, but if we don't vote, it's going to be worse. How can it get any worse than what it is now, sir or ma'am? How can it get any worse? What level of oppression, pain, economic suffering, etc., that we not experiencing because we going out there and lining up to vote for the Democrat Party? I mean, tell me. Tell me how worse it's going to get. We've been voting for the same party for over 50 years. Are we being prioritized? And you've been showing up, even in the midst of a global pandemic, you show up. You had to get Trump out. You say Trump was the biggest racist ever, right? And Biden is like an angel? Is he angel? Has he always respected black people? I'm trying to figure that part out. He had no respect for you because he wouldn't even come talk to you. Hell, he wouldn't even interview with Boule Martin. That's a safe platform for him to go interview with. Boule Martin was complaining on his platform that none of the Democrats want to go interview with him. He wanted to do an interview with Biden. He wanted to interview with Kamala. He wanted Nancy Pelosi and all these other people, and they didn't want to know the deal with him. Let you know what they really think about even Boule Martin. He do all that shucking and jiving for the Democrat Party, and they don't even respect that man. You can't get no hardcore Democrat like Boule Martin is. I'll give him that respect. And they look how they treat him. But see, I understand who they are. They don't like my people. You talk about the Republicans, at least what I respect about a lot of Republicans that feel that way about us, at least they are upfront with it. I can respect anybody that's upfront about how they feel about me. Even if they don't like me, I'm cool. I can actually find common ground on somebody that don't like me versus someone that really don't like me, but they smile in my face? Because they feel the same way like the other one, but they're waiting for you to turn your back so they can backstab you or they can finesse you out your money or whatever, but they can't stand you no different than the other one. You understand? Black folks in America, the reason why we are constantly losing or at the bottom is that your politicians just don't even respect you. They don't feel like they have to do nothing for you. And then black folks, we are so silly. We can't even get on code with something that would benefit everybody, like reparations. You would think reparations would be like the idea that we all can get on code about because we would all benefit from reparations. And you still got black folk that's jumping in the fray against reparations, whether they were born here, definitely some that wasn't born here because they wouldn't qualify for reparations. We got so many different factions that's against reparations. This is why in America, we're not being prioritized politically. And if you know our history, how do you trade what you've done in the civil rights movement, what you've done many other times outside of that, uprisings that you've done over the years, boycotts you've done? How you trade all that in to all of a sudden putting all your faith and hope in the Democrat Party and voting, when our history showed that we didn't get nothing by voting. We didn't get off the slave plantations by voting. We didn't get out of sharecropping by voting. We didn't get out of Jim Crow by voting. But now all of a sudden you're thinking that, oh, well, we just need to vote for the Democrat Party and everything gonna be all right. It's not gonna be all right. But see, one thing about them folks, they have focus groups and they constantly studying us. And they know you. They know you're going to get mad about a week or two and you're going to let it go and you're going to go right back to voting for them. This is why they won't do nothing for you. And this is why at the time, Joe Biden will go to Cardi B. He wouldn't even talk to Roland Martin. He wouldn't even talk to a Nina Turner. I mean, people that would be safe for him to kind of talk to. And he wouldn't even talk to them. He said, I don't even respect them. I'm going to go talk to Cardi B, an entertainer. She's a good representation for black folk. Once again, I'm not upset with Cardi B. I'm not. The issue is Biden and the Democrats. That's the issue. But as long as black folks feel that the Democrats are the second coming of white Jesus, because that's what a lot of you think. You think the Democrats are the second coming of white Jesus, and they are the white Jesus protection from them mean old white Republicans. And they all going to country clubs laughing at your ignorant behind together. If you ever talk to someone who ever worked on the Hill, they'll tell you them Democrats and Republicans be eating together, laughing together, at each other's house, chilling, having a good time with each other. And you really think they don't like each other? Please. Please. They laugh at you all the time at their dinner table with their mayonnaise sandwiches and their green bean casserole. They say, yeah, them black people think we're going to do something for them. Look, I'm not for no reparations. They not getting it. So, but I just can't say it like that. I mean, we both know we ain't voting for no reparations. They gonna have to make us do reparations, but we just can't say it. Well, we gonna tell them. Well, you tell them, but we gonna have to say HR 40, and we gonna have to, we gonna have to put our people out there to, try to muddy the waters and all of that. We can't come like that. Y'all have to understand that. It's two ways. Listen, you can use the black community and get a lot out of them, a lot of money, a lot of resources. It's a lot of things you can get them and still don't have to give them nothing. But you guys, that's why they don't vote for you. Yeah, well, I'm not about to cower down like you for them. Like, look, you got to give them some token positions, but not no real black person. I mean, a black person that thinks like us. So he is a white man, an all white woman in blackface. That's all. That's who you think. Why you think we run our kind of politicians like that? Have you noticed no one from the true grassroots never really become a mayor? or a senator or a House of Representatives or a judge or anything like that. You notice we never do that in the Democrat Party. No, they all have the same mantra. They all. We'll let them talk it, but behind the scenes, they're going to do what we say. So it's benefits to that because you keep them on the hamster wheel, Republican. That's how we do it. And see, we'll win more elections than you because we know how to play them. Unlike you trying to stop them from voting. And even though I'm not really stopping you from stopping them from voting now, but while we getting the votes from them, we're going to use them. And that's really the conversations they have about y'all all the time. Y'all the only group they had that conversation about. Other groups outside of black folk, they play both sides. They say, hey, let me see what I'm going to get out of it because I'm trying to finesse something. Other groups, you think if Asians were supposed to get reparations, you think they'd be arguing about it? Look at that Stop Asian Hate thing. You notice none of them were speaking against each other. None of them say, hey, not everybody, we are on attack like that. What are you talking about? It was the white supremacy. They didn't care. They stayed quiet until they got what they wanted. If you think Hispanics would be speaking up against reparations for them, please, they'll be quiet and advocating to get their check. Arabs, any other group will be on unison to get their check. But y'all in this community, no. That's why we don't get nothing done. Unfortunately, it takes a George Floyd situation for us to get on code for something. It's sad. I've said it before. It takes a blood sacrifice for us to get on code. Unfortunately, if we wanted to stay perpetually on code, we would have to have a blood sacrifice every 7 days for y'all to stay on code perpetually. That's what we would have to have, a blood sacrifice every 7 days on camera and heinous. If they not doing that to you, you gonna go along to get along with the system. You don't want nothing. You don't want to do nothing. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, the Joe Biden and Democrats back in 2020, because we're going to explore, even some more footage this week during that time period. But you had to get Trump out and you got him out. Is things better for you? Because I'm telling you, me personally, things are not better. Things are a whole lot worse.